Hi everyone, welcome to today's CPD on RICS Final Interview Preparation Guidance. My name is Mohammed Munas, a fellow member of RICS. Hopefully this guidance will help you to prepare and face your final interview with the confidence and also to avoid unnecessary pitfalls during the process. So once again, welcome all of you to today CPD. RICS will confirm your interview date in advance 10 days before or sometime 2 weeks before the interview date. So once you get your RICS interview date and the time, I will advise you to have a holiday from your current work, because sometimes if your works are too hectic and if you don't have enough time to practice, maybe you will fail the interview. So to avoid that one, if possible, take a holidays from the works. Second, you must have a plan, the study plan, how you are going to utilize the remaining days. So the preparation is a very key for your successful interview. So during this period, what you have to do, you have to refresh your knowledge on all the competencies and the case studies. You have to familiarize yourself with the CPD records you have written. Sometimes the assessor will ask you the question from the CPD, and specifically you have to focus on ethics. Failing the ethics will lead you automatic failure in the interview. And also case study presentation, you have to do it timely within 10 minutes. Make sure you don't exceed the given time, and also don't complete your case study presentation earlier than the 10 minutes. Let's say you are completing your presentation by 9 minutes, you are giving 1 minute time extra for the assessor to ask more questions. So therefore, you have to manage your time very carefully and very strategically. Now, we will see how RICS interview structure. The interview is 60 minutes, and during the 60 minutes, you have 10 minutes to do the case study presentation and 10 minutes given for you to answer the question related to the case study. The assessor will ask you a lot of questions. This is a harder area when come to the RICS interview, and you have to prepare very well. Then rest of the 40 minutes given to the competencies. Depend on your pathway, you will face all the questions on your competency during these 40 minutes. Then you must know about the assessment panels. Sometimes 3 members will come to you, or sometimes 2 members will come to you. One person, one RICS members will act as a chairperson, and another one or two will act as assessor. So what chairperson will do for you, he will welcome you to the interview and introduce the panel, and he will explain the interview procedure, and he will do the ice breaking session. So he makes sure that you are not nervous, you are confident to start the interview. And he will ask you, are you fit well to do the interview today? In case if you are not ready, you feel not comfortable healthy wise, you can stop the interview. Let's say you are ready to go ahead, then they will ask you to show the room 360-degree. Keep your room very clean, tidy, and don't keep anyone in the room. And make sure you have a proper arrangement before you start the interview. Once you show the 360-degree, then you have to be relaxed, and RICS chairman will say, okay, if you are ready, you can start your presentation. So this is how the interview will begin. So before you go for an interview, I will give you some idea and guidance. This will be very helpful for you to get ready and avoid unnecessary panic during the process. So therefore, how you are going to get ready before the interview? The first of all, you have to be familiar with the tools that you are going to use. The tool going to be Microsoft Teams and the PowerPoint. The many of the people, okay, last moment, you are searching on your Microsoft Team link that RICS sent to you. Make sure you keep that one ready. And also PowerPoint. Many of you are going to do the presentation through the PowerPoint. So you have to know how to use or how to put the presentation mode. Many candidates struggles to run the presentation and they actually giving the bad impression to the panel. Okay, this quantity survey is technically weak. So they think, are they really capable to be a chartered quantity surveyor? So don't give the bad impression at very beginning. Okay, so now how you are going to get ready your room? Okay, so I will give you one by one. First, you have to have the proper table and chair. Then you should have a strong internet connection. Make sure don't use the shared Wi-Fi or weak Wi-Fi, or ask the home members not to use during this process the internet, because it's going to be reduce the speed of the internet connection and it's going to impact your interview. So make sure you test your internet connection before the interview starts. And you should have the power connection. Let's say if you are running out of the power, you might feel panic during the process. So therefore, keep your laptop with the power connection. Ensure the power cables are attached to the laptop. And you are not able to use the extension monitor during the interview process. So therefore, you don't keep any extension monitor during the process. And you have to keep the laptop with a good camera quality. So make sure check your camera quality and avoid the laptop that have the malfunction or the one not up to the standard. And also you should have a good lighting condition. So assessor want to see your face and the facial expression and how you are doing with the confident or not. So therefore you should have the good lighting condition and also choose the location which is having the noise free. Many of the candidate home environment not comfortable. If that is the case, you better find any places, or you can go for any space where you can have this kind of calm environment to face the interview. Otherwise, the noisy location will interrupt you. Not only that, you might not hear the assessor question carefully. Maybe you will hear something differently what they are asking and you might fail the interview. So therefore, to avoid this situation, you have to find the good location that have the good lighting condition and noise free. The one headphone. Make sure you should have the headphone. Many candidates using the Bluetooth headphone. I will advise to avoid unnecessary hassle at the last moment. Right, you have to have the headphone that have wired connection. And also make sure keep a pen and note. Sometimes the assessor will ask you the question during the interview. So if you don't know the answer for that particular question, please note down, and you might come back during the interview process. At the end, they will give you a time. Do you want to come back any question that we have asked? So if you don't remember what was the question they have asked with you, then you will be unable to respond to that question. Therefore, you must keep a notebook with a pen. And definitely, you have to keep the watch. The watch with a timer. So you have to manage your presentation time and the overall interview time. So keep the watch. Some people rely on the watch on the mobile. Sometimes the assessor don't allow you to keep the mobile. Mobile, you can keep it until the beginning of the interview, and you have to keep it under the silent mode. And make sure you are not going to be disturbed by someone during the process. So keep the airplane mode. Sometimes the interview can be interrupted. So assessor or the RICS want to contact you to coordinate. In that time, you have to have the active mobile connection to contact. So therefore, manage it carefully. And I will advise to have the water with you, because you are going to talk for 1 hour. Therefore, you will feel tired. You need water. So once you've done the presentation, drink little amount of water, ask the permission from your panels and have some water and be relaxed, then face the interview questions. And make sure you have to be in the professional dress code because it is a chartered interview and RICS will check everything. Okay. Now coming to the interview, I'm going to give you a tips what you have to do, what you should not do. Okay, so remember, you have come to this interview after a long practice, dedication. So you have waited for this time for many years. And this is not the place you have to fail. It is a place you have to prove your quality. So therefore, remember, you have 60 minutes. This 60 minutes going to determine whether you are a MRICS or not. Second, you have to do the test on your audio and the video settings. Don't do it at the last moment. Keep it ready once you get the interview date and time. And as I told you, be ready with your tools like a Microsoft Team and the PowerPoint presentation. And important things, keep the meeting link ready somewhere else you can easily access. Don't search the meeting link at the last moment, and before the interview time, at least 10 to 15 minutes, enter the meeting room. But be ready to enter the meeting room at least 1 hour or 30 minutes before, because this is the time you have waited for a long days. And finally you are here. So don't go at the very, very last moment. Be ready yourself before 1 hour if possible, and try to join this link before 15 minutes. So you have enough time to do if anything needed to be done during this time. Okay, so therefore join early. Okay, then you should have the access to your mobile. As I told you, you have to keep the mobile in silent mode, but in case any unexpected issues arise, right, the RICS will contact you through the given mobile number, so they will assist you in case you need any help. So therefore, keep your mobile and the email that anytime you can access if needed. Okay, then turn off your phone during the interview. If the interview started properly, either you can turn off your mobile or put it in the airplane mode, because sometimes I have seen many candidates will get in the call and they got distracted and disturbed and they got panicked and the interview went down. So to avoid that unnecessary hassles, please keep your mobile turn off, or at least put it in the Wi-Fi mode. Okay, now structure. You have to do your presentation in a very structured manner, and you have to answer the question on the case study presentation to the panel very good manner. This is a very challenging part, and I will guide you how to do that properly in the next slide. So how to prepare your case study presentation perfectly, professionally, to avoid the unnecessary trouble during the interview. So the case study presentation is the one going to give you a first impression to the panel, and the first impression must be a best impression. So think about what you are going to say and why it is important. Link everything that you bet with the competency in your case study. So how to do this case study presentation? It's all about, you should understand, okay, you have to know your case study well. Why this key issue arise? What are the options? Why you have choose this particular option? And why other options are not suitable? There will be a lot of questions. So first start with the case study as per the case study chapter. Now case study, we have the 4 chapters, which is introduction chapter, my approach chapter 2, and my achievement chapter 3, and conclusion chapter 4. same structure, right? Similar way you do your presentation. So in the introduction, you have to give the in your introduction of the presentation, you have to greet the panel and welcome the panel. So make sure the panels are feeling comfortable and welcoming when you are starting your presentations. So use the first minute to introduce your case study by stating your role in the project objective, what are the key challenges you have encountered. This is kind of an impressive opening of your case study. Then talk about your roles and responsibility. Briefly outline your specific role that was connected to the case study. And you can talk about your stakeholder, and also you can talk about the time frame of the project during the case study process. Now, second, when come to the approach talk about the background of the project. What are the challenges you have faced, and why the key issues arise, and also you have to find the and justify the option you have considered, and the achievement chapter will justify why out of the whole option you have considered is the one you have choose. You have to justify, and you have to give the reason advice, and in the conclusion it's talk about, okay, it's reflect your performance and what are the difficulties you went through and how you helped your client to achieve their objective. So now coming to the detailed understanding of the presentation, okay, you should have this idea. First, structure. Now, don't randomly go and talk to the RICS panel. You have to practice your case study presentation in a structured words. So each word must be defined and determined. It is not the place you think and talk. One wrong wording could bring unnecessary follow-up question during the interview. So therefore, please make sure your script, okay, drafted very correctly, and you are going to talk the scripted presentation during the interview. Second, you have to do the rehearsal. Only the rehearsal, practicing the multiple time to ensure the smooth delivery and the proper time management of the presentation is very important. If you are doing the presentation by 10 minutes, the panel will understand you have given enough hard work to achieve this. It won't come easily. Don't think I will do this presentation at the last moment and I will reach the 10 minutes very sharply. There are so many shortfalls happening during the presentation. Candidate understood he is running the out of time by 9th minute. He will start to speed up at the last minute. Panel can very easily observe that one. Then they are not going to have the good impression on it. The another thing is, okay, you have to do engage. You have to engage the panels by eye contact. Don't read the slides. Now many people doing, they are reading the slides, what is appearing in the slides. This is not the objective of the case study presentation. The case study presentation objective is one of the competency under the mandatory communication and negotiation. RICS check how you are good enough in the verbal communications and how you are good at the presentation. This is non-verbal communication. So they are checking your communication skills. And this is a place, even they can pass you this subject without asking any questions during the interview on this particular competency, which is called communication and negotiation. Why? They can see your communication skills in your submission, in your presentation, in the way you are answering the question during the interview. They don't need to ask separate questions sometimes. So just be mindful. So don't read the slides and keep the correct tone. You are talking to the panel, you are not reading the slides. That is a difference. Okay. Fourth, you should have the visual in your presentation. So make sure you have to have the proper visuals. Don't keep too much visual in the presentation. Keep it simple and clear one. If visuals are needs, only you use the one okay, which is really necessary and appropriate. And practicing time, the time and the content of the each slide. Don't keep too many slides. I will advise to keep 10 to 11 or 12 slides maximum. So you have 10 minutes. You can distribute the time for the each slides and you can manage your time. So the time management of the presentation comes with the each and every slides progressively. And the next one is anticipate questions. The anticipate questions are very important because you have to be ready some follow-up question on your presentation, or they will ask you a technical question based on your case study. So you have to prepare the potential area where the interviewer can ask the question, so they can seek for the clarification. And they also do a realistic test. Assessor know how to find the fabricated case study. The truth is truth, lie is lie. So you can't go with the case study which is never happened or you never involved. That's a way assessor can technically find it whether you are coming with the bogus case study or not. And also you have to link to the competency because the case studies are connected to the so many competency to demonstrate your expertise. So therefore you have to connect your case study based on the competency that listed in the appendix A. And before you answer the question, please listen well the question. Try to understand what assessor asks. Then you have to answer in a structured way. Don't bluff. If you don't know the answer wrong, don't round around the questions. And sometimes assessor can understand very well that you are not having the knowledge about this particular area and you are wasting the time. And if the questions are asked on the core competency, try to reach the advisory level. Right. If you don't understand the questions during the interview process or presentation time, you have to clarify. Could you please repeat the questions again? If you don't remember or don't know the answer, this is a time you need to note down the question that assessor asked and you have to say, I will come back on that one. Make sure they will ask you the ethics test or ethics related questions. Don't fail the ethics. And some more guidance I am going to give you. Okay. Don't rush through your presentation. Don't do that. You have to keep your presentation in a good flow that everyone can understand. Okay. Second, don't read your slides. Here, the presentation is skill to be tested, so you are talking, not reading. You have to keep that in mind. And don't overrun the time limit. If you do that, so okay, technically it's giving a very bad impression on you and RICS will stop you. RICS panel will stop you to do this presentation continuously because you can't take their time. 10 minutes given for you and 50 minutes given for the panel. Therefore, you cannot consume their time and they will not entertain that one. And also, don't get distracted by the visual aids that you are going to put in the presentation. You just keep your focal point in the case study and don't present yourself as overconfident. Some candidates do like that and they think they know everything, but you have to be humble and you have to be balance your professional behavior. Okay, so if you follow these points, you can do a proper presentation and also you can face the interview very nicely. Okay, now I will give you some more guidance for you to get ready for the final interview. Okay, so first make sure you go and visit the RICS website before the interview because they are giving some update time to time. Sometimes the assessor will ask you, have you visited the RICS website? If you say yes, they will ask you, what are the latest information you found? If you really don't do that way, you might fail. Second, you have to do a self-study. Self-study and the group study. I will tell you why both are important. Self-study is to learn something, develop your knowledge. Group study, not to learn something only, you have to practice. You have to practice with the colleagues, whether you are answering in a structured way within the shortest time. Some people will answer in a longest time without keywording. You should understand the keywordings are very important and you have to answer in a structured way. Specifically, the level 3 questions they are looking for the advisory level answer. So once you do this study, you will learn from the mistakes. There will be a lot of mistakes, right? When you do the presentation or when you got question on the case study or when you got the question on the summary of experience, you will have a lot of questions. Maybe you might done the wrong answering, but there's a time for you to correct. So have a review with your colleagues or any other MRICS members who can help you on this particular part. Also, if possible, you must have the adequate mocks or Q&A practice. Both are very important because practice make you better. So hope this whole important information I have given will be very useful for you. Now coming to the QS for QS. Now we have built more than 100 of MRICS and what we can do for you, we can do a detailed review on your case study and the summary of experience and go word by word, paragraph by paragraph with the live review and help you to understand what is the shortfall in your submission, what kind of question you can expect from your submission and how to manage them. Second, as I told you, the first impression is the best impression that should be given in the case study presentation. We can help you to develop the case study presentation in a very professional manner and also to make sure that you can do it within the time frame given. So this is a very important part for all of the RICS candidates. Okay. Another thing is now many people don't have the proper guidance to do the Q&A practice. So what we are doing right now, we can allocate a one-to-one assessor to practice with you instead of you are practicing with another APC candidate. If you can practice with the MRICS member who already a chartered quantity surveyors and went through with the process as a one-to-one session, this will be a great for you to identify your shortfalls and correct it within the short time limit. With that, if you have any questions or if you have any clarification on today's session, you are welcome to reach me through the given WhatsApp number here. And I wish you all of you a very good luck to have a very successful final interview. And I wish you will definitely achieve that goal. Thank you very much for attending today's CPD.